put to one side the leaking of customer confidentiality, which we probably all agree was egregious, I think the one thing we've learned from all of this is how to whip up a populist storm. Because at the heart of this is the choice by one private bank to say no to one customer who they decided was costing them too much and wasn't bringing them in enough money. They offered him another high street bank like 95% of the population use, and that wasn't good enough. And he made it. Farage made it an argument about free speech, about liberty, about censorship, when it wasn't. No one was shutting him down. No one was stopping him from banking. No one was calling him names. They simply waited until he'd paid off a mortgage, having decided ahead of time that they would call it quits at that point. And this isn't a public utility. It's not electricity. It's a posh private bank. It's in the name. Yet the power of the populist somehow is to turn utter entitlement into victimhood. And that is quite the move.
The problem with this video, and I've literally only just seen it, it's quite late at night. This is the video which is described as a sneering attack on Nigel Farage. It really is. And she's wrong. Emily Maitlis is just wrong. She's the person who left the BBC with John Sopel, and she's branded woke and bits and pieces, but really she's just wrong. She's not woke. She's wrong, and she's missing the point. She's confusing a liking of Farage with a disliking. She's got this: do you like or do you not like Farage? It's got nothing to do with would you like or do not like Farage. It's to do with, is this something? Is this power something the bank should have? The answer is no. It doesn't matter whether you're on the right or on the left. And supporting Farage's position is not supporting Farage. It's simply saying the banks are wrong. I'm not sticking my neck out for Farage at all. I think Farage is definitely milking this for his own political advantage. The banks, coutts, have given him a platform on which to stand again. And he's wise enough to have taken that. But I don't support him for that. I don't support him at all, really. I just don't support coutts. And that's the issue. And it's got nothing to do with, all this stuff about the banks had decided once he'd paid his mortgage, they were costing too much, and they would let him go. No, they didn't, actually. If you look at the chronology, they didn't offer him the NatWest bank account until he started making a fuss, and they still haven't offered him a bank account to replace his business bank account. What's his business called? Sound like a thorn in the side. He needles people. So that's what he does. It's in the business name. If I got the business name right, I'm not sure I have. But he needles people. And he's clearly needled Emily Maitlis. But that's not the point. The point is, Coutts betrayed trust. Coutts was dishonest. Coutts was gossiping. It was tittle-tattle. It was a betrayal of trust. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want anything to do with a bank that can't that can't keep its word, that can't keep its mouth shut, and that can't look after the money. There are a group of people whose service is predicated on trust, and those are the two great words: service and trust. Priests, bankers, lawyers, doctors. And our society has eroded that trust in so many ways, with perhaps very good intentions. But that trust has been eroded, and here is an example of an organisation taking advantage of that erosion. It's quite reprehensible. And Emily Maitlis is on the wrong side of this. And as for, we should give Alison Rose the benefit of doubt because of her gender, and the argument that comes out of Reeves, that is pathetic. Utterly pathetic. No. Alison Rose was an extremely competent actor in her own right, and she made a very stupid mistake. She's paid enough. She's paid enough to get things right, and she got things wrong because she was partying and she was blabbering. And then, to make it worse, the BBC rang back to find out whether or not it was true. And Coutts said it was. So in other words, it's not just it's not just Alison Rose, it's the culture which is wrong. So from that point of view, Reeves might have a case, but that's not the case she advanced. And that case I would accept, by the way, that Alison Rose was simply the mouthpiece of a corrupt organisation. I would accept that. And I would make an argument that Rose could stay, but that's not the argument that was advanced. So, we have to look at these things, and we have to call out problems when they occur. Because the systems today are not doing that job, and we're not therefore protected. We have to look out for the victim. The victim isn't Nigel Farage. The victim is all those people whose bank accounts have been closed, or people who have had so many ridiculous telephone calls that they've left their bank and the bank has heaved a sigh of relief, I'm sure. And they've gone elsewhere, and it's inconvenient. It's inconvenient, and it shouldn't have to happen. And it's the pressure of an autocratic system where the banks have forgotten their role. Their role is to serve. And if they can't serve, then they're really not doing their job.